Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Odyssey. It's Jason here, back at you with another video on XRP. So it's been an interesting couple of days for XRP since we've had this move to the upside. Yesterday we closed red and we closed what looks like a hanging man at the top of what is quite a sizable move. This is about a 25% move. So the market has responded to our calls for higher prices to the upside. Now, is this move going to continue? I certainly do think that the low is in, and I do think that there is potential for XRP to have a real breakout and testing higher prices, given the long-term indicators and the picture that they are painting. Although we're seeing this pullback today, it's very expected. If we get up our fib levels, we'll be able to see that we're still playing the levels. Of course, we came back down to this low here, and from this low we've really just been playing the levels perfectly. We hit our head on the 618, and now I imagine we'll consolidate around this 2.3 level, which is the 0.5. Why do you say that? Well, it also lines up quite nicely with this trend line here, because we clearly have higher highs and higher lows. So we are in an uptrend from the low that we set back in April when the price reached 1.6. So I think that we still have a lot of room to the upside. However, we have areas where we need to consolidate, and I imagine consolidating above this 0.5 area makes sense, at least to me. Now let's jump into a higher time frame. What is very clear is on the monthly we have a double bottom, and it's a very similar double bottom to the one that we saw back in 2017 when we experienced XRP's crazy bull run. We're seeing a very similar picture on that front. I know we could draw this out in many different ways, and I have shown you different ways of looking at these higher time frames, whether we're looking in terms of the time spent in the bull markets and predict what XRP could be doing in the future, but also just a very simple double bottom pattern, which is a textbook pattern in technical analysis. It signifies a move from the lows that we set up into the neckline, and the neckline you can draw it out pretty clearly. It's here as well as here, yeah, if we're looking at both charts. And the price target is a measured move from the bottom to the neckline. From the point of the neckline you will get your target, which is sitting around $25 on this logarithmic chart. What we need to confirm before that happens is what we've already confirmed back in April, which is a retest and support confirmation coming in. We had that back in February, back in March, where we closed above the psychological $2 level. Again, we've got multiple confluencing factors there. We've got above $2, we've got support above the neckline, we've got a double bottom, we've got time consolidation, we have price consolidation, we have a breakout move to the upside with support confirmed at the tops. We've got a dragonfly doji candle forming at the bottom. Now, this is not a hanging man. It is not at the top of a move. This is after some lengthy price consolidation, because this is 156 days, give or take. Haven't drawn that perfectly there, but you get an idea. What this tells us is that retail has been flushed out of the game. Yeah, weak hands have sold, and that's exactly what happened back here, where weak hands were sold and then price just compressed within this region before breaking out. And we're seeing the same thing. Price just being compressed within this region before making a move to the upside. We are testing that resistance. You could draw this in multiple ways. You could draw this as a bull flag, as I've shown you. You could draw it as a falling wedge. You could draw it as a descending channel. You could draw it as many different things. What we can't debate is the support and the resistance that is compressing. There is a move coming for XRP. We've already gotten a flavor of that. So it will be very interesting to see over the next couple weeks, days, months, however you want to view it. I do think in the medium term, XRP is going to be going to the upside. And none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion. And this video is for educational and entertainment purposes. So if you are enjoying it so far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Much appreciated. We're going to jump back to the monthly, and I'm going to get rid of all this, and I'm going to pop in the indicator I showed you in my previous video, can't write today, which is the ultimate oscillator. The ultimate oscillator uses both short, medium, and long-term reference points to measure the relative strength. There is a lot of mathematics behind it. You don't fully need to understand it in order to be able to see what is going on in the oscillator, because if we look at historical price action, it will tell us essentially what we might expect or give us possibilities of what could occur. You could call them probabilities or possibilities. Whether they are probabilities or not is based off the number of confluences that confirm that happening. Then it increases the probability. But there is always possibility in the market as well. These are not a scientific, perfect formation. These are price waves and a reflection of human behavior, which is naturally chaotic. Looking at this oscillator at the bottom, we can draw areas of interest. For example, let's mark out where we started this move. And you can see that it wasn't an instantaneous price hike. The same if we go back a bit to the last time we saw that, which was back here. But the difference between this move, and we'll change this color because there is a difference. And we need to highlight those differences because those differences tell us how we should analyze it and whether we should consider it or not. Let's move to another red line, but we'll draw it from here where we started this move. So you can see what came after there, as well as back here when this low really started. So what we've got drawn on here are reference points that we can refer back to in order to infer what might happen in the future. So if we look at the most previous history here, we had this period of consolidation before the price move occurred. If we go back to this yellow line here, which I wanted to quickly talk about, if we look at the move in the oscillator, it is marked with these peaks and then retracements, and it's all the way to the high. We didn't actually break out. This wasn't a breakout moment for XRP, and that's reflected in the price action as well. Whereas what we're seeing here is a breakout movement, and so have been the prior ones. So there is a difference in terms of how they move to the upside. This particular yellow line did not have the velocity that the prior ones did. If we look at what happened in the mark of the previous failed bull market, you might say, well, that was actually telling us a story, was it not? Because we did not have a successful bull market. If you look at the move here, we did not take out our previous all-time high. It ended prematurely, and then we formed like an ABC, came back down and formed our low. What came after was not going to be the breakout of a new bull market because of the failed move. However, with price consolidating and our expectations of a bull market and the bull market that's happened for Bitcoin, we can very much confirm that what we're seeing in XRP is a mega bull market breakout that occurred back in November. And the duration that we're expecting is to occur over a longer time frame than the present moment. So we are expecting that the prices will increase for XRP, given the fact that we are in a solid bull market. And we have this upper trend line to prove it, which is telling us that this trend that we started back last year is in full effect. Now, if we go back to the beginning and we go back to this move in December, it's very similar to what we're doing now because we also had this price consolidation occurring. Now, it wasn't as long as the present moment, but it was still 2 months, because this is really 2 candles here. This was 2 months before we broke out. And what we have is about 6 months. So are these periods increasing with each bull market or each move? Obviously, the prices are increasing there, but we're getting an idea that our oscillator bottoms first and is an early signal compared to price action. It's not lagging. It's telling us when our lows are in and what's coming thereafter. It's printing a low on its oscillator regardless of what price is doing, and is showing us the direction of price in the future. So if we step back now and look at what XRP is doing in the present moment, then we can see that we are postured to the upside And from what we've done at previous points where we've been postured, we've had these moves. So if we look at what price was doing back here, we had this move from 0.4, about 400%. So given the fact that we're now postured, along all the other posturing that we're seeing on higher time frames as well in the RSI or the stochastic, for example, we're postured here. If we look at the stochastic and we go back to the monthly, you can see that we bounced off the 50 level as I showed you yesterday. So we have momentum swinging to the upside after having broken out from this 6-month period of consolidation where we have just been compressed within this range, and price is going to be choosing a direction. Given what we're seeing, we're predicting that direction to go up. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, again, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.